Hey, we with this early. We with this early in the morning. It's Thanksgiving Day over here in America. Day the pilgrims came over and did some stuff to the people that was already living here. It's like, hey, it's all good right here. Got some food. So that is where we are today. Welcome to the Psy Tai podcast. What is this? 44. We on podcast 44. So make sure y'all jump on in, join the conversation. Let's tie on out. For those of you it's your first show, just ties when you combine your mind with your heart, connect those two circles, let whatever come out, just come on out. It's TAI, not THI, like the food. Get it straight. So, and we do not condone the use of illegal or legal drugs. Do not recreate anything that you see or hear on this channel. But yo, it's Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving. What's on your plate? This is gonna be actually the second Thanksgiving I'm not with my blood-related family, so it's gonna be another experience for me to see the difference in the world, because not everybody is always gonna be around the people that birthed them or that they lived around all their life around these times, and I never had that before. Like in Philadelphia. Everybody's there. In California, nobody's over here. So it ain't real too much of a downer. It's just different. And that's why I like these psychedelics too. They allow me to adjust to things that's dramatically different. Because those thoughts can be so still real. Like, and I know because I had to still deal with them. Like, man, my mom not here, or my sister, or my friends, or something like that. Like even like have a friendsgiving, friendsgiving. You know how that goes about. But no, I still got my neighbor, got my daughter, and my girlfriend going to work. So we're gonna make this work. It's probably just be me and my daughter tonight. So we're gonna have some fun. Cause she don't really know. It's wild because my daughter's 5 years old, and she doesn't really know what Thanksgiving is. And it's wild because holidays, like what? Let me look up something. Holiday. Oh yeah, I got it on here. I can do this on here. I just hope it's fast. Etymology. Holiday. And I spelled holiday with a Y. Silly me. But this is what I got over here. Once y'all do. Alright, holiday. Holiday is old English. I don't know how to say that. So yeah, it means holy day, a day of festivity or recreation when no work is done. Characteristic of a holiday, festive and extended. Yeah, but we all know that. Where it come from? It just comes from the old English word holy day. That's it. No, ain't too much breakdown to that. The word originally referred only to special religious days. In modern use, it means any special day of rest or relaxation, as opposed to normal days away from work or school. That's why they say on what is that over there in London and Europe and stuff when I'm watching Peppa Pig and other shows, they be saying, yeah, we're going on holiday today. So I guess that meaning does go a day of rest, away from doing things that you normally do. That is a holiday, a holy day. And why do we call it holy days? As if we're never supposed to be working. But I guess back then, when they was coming up with the term a holy day, religions and stuff, like the holy day is like, this is the day to reverence your creator. You know, it's just the Christian terms that came up with holy days. Everything else before then, based off like the nature religions, that wasn't like so organized. Their religions, holy days, I guess, holidays was mostly based off of the seasons. It was based off of the seasons, like the spring, winter, fall. It's winter season. We got to do this. It's harvest season. It's the spring equinox. It's the summer equinox. Like based off of there. But then we started getting a little more, started creating more things in there based off of these imaginary gods. And we created the holiday. Say, we gotta give this day over. But yeah, when I was going over on my daughter, I think she had about a good, only two Thanksgivings with the rest of her family. The rest of all her experiences is actually just in California with her mommy and daddy. So that's interesting. For me, as a father, to go forward with her life, because it's already so different than mine. Her life is so way different than mine, with the scenery and with the way that I find myself interacting with her as opposed to how other people was interacting with me. And it's it's wild the mind state that psychedelics can keep you in, where you're not getting so tied down. Because when you're a kid, you don't know about any of this stuff. You just taught about all of these things. You really are taught in school. I'm looking at Google now, where they got the hand turkey. Is that, you see it right here? I'm put the cursor there. See right there, the hand. And when you remember, we used to trace our hands and like draw the turkeys in school and stuff. We probably still do that now that I brought it up. We probably still do that. But I'm just saying this is something that's learned. Like we do all these things around the holiday season, and then when we grow up, it's all engraved into our system so that we like, this is what we have to do today. Like, I gotta get the turkey. I was at the supermarket yesterday. It was people in there all surprised that the market wasn't crowded with people and that the lines was short, because they was expecting everybody to be thinking like them. Like, oh man, I gotta rush. I'm late. Or even a day early. It's so wild because people be thinking they day early and thinking they doing things early. Then they there and they run into a crowd. I'm tying on Philly. In Philly, it definitely would have been a crowd. But where I am in Chico, is so less of people that the rush to do things, I guess unless I was in a different type of circle, is not so apparent to me. To say, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to act like this. Oh, this time's coming around. Make sure this is like this. It's like now it's all off of my own grounded and own understanding of things. And what I'm willing to do in the moment. What's actually making me happy. Instead of relying on the holiday to make me happy. It's like now, oh, it's a holiday. I can now interject extra happiness into it because everybody else is doing it. Or not happiness, but experience the joy of it more, because now the scenery around me, now everybody's trying to get into this happiness groove, see where they fit in, even if it's just for this one day. So if you already on board before I'm just saying, when I'm already on board before the holidays come, holiday is not just another day to brush away. Man, I don't care about the holidays, but it's like, oh yes, let's go, let's make this our tie-in day. It's a tie day. It's a tie day. Because when you really get into Thanksgiving and stuff, it's wild. And we knew about that when we was in school. Like the pilgrims coming over, and they named the people here Americans, probably because they couldn't speak their tongue. And I'm not trying to spread hate. This is what was happening. This is just literally what was happening. They didn't know how to speak their lingo, so they called them Patango. And they called them Native Americans, Indians, and like, imagine people coming up to you, coming up to your house with some food. They straight Trojan horse. I say it's like a Trojan horse kind of energy. Oh, I can see some comments. What's going on, you well? Hey, you well? And team hashtag team trees. The season holds life in the essence of nature's hand. Hey, and yeah, what's up, tree teens? You can feed on the spiritual energy. And then he said, it's animals. I'm going to keep this up because I don't even know when you wrote it's animals. And you know how fast I'll be talking. But this is your first time on here, Team Trees. Thanks for coming by. But no, I was on about the animals and stuff. Like, just go through real fast. Y'all know about the animals. The animals. The pilgrims, they came over and gave them some food. And then they took over. Like, they got all into their settings, and they probably introduced some of them to Christianity. And it's like, oh yes, this God, we came here so we can worship our God. Who do you worship? And they was pointing to the ants and all these other things, and then they was You changing? You trying to find the right name? Soul searching. But all your names. Hey, man, don't stay grounded. Don't stay grounded. You ain't searching. You know what this game is. Now you can't hold me down to one identity. I'ma keep on shape shifting on your ass. They came looking for food and took the kitchen. Yeah, they took the kitchen. Cause they I was thinking about maize. Maize, like, and then they made it into corn. And they sucked all the nutritional value out of the maize. They even took all the color out of it. If you look at that never ending story type thing, they took the color out of the corn. It made it useless. Man, like, corn is yellow. We like yellow corn. Was it something else with potatoes too? Hold on. Potatoes. I think I'm wrong. I think I'm thinking about something else. But it's still fun. Wait, here it is. Oh, I found this cool article talking about food. Yeah, the rice too, you say? Like, they didn't have nothing over there. That's why they always say the Europeans, like, especially in the colder climates that wasn't near India and stuff like that, India and Asia, they just straight up jacked everybody for for their ways of living. Like, they're the ultimate, to say it nicely, they're the ultimate adopters. They're the ultimate adopters. Like, it's wild how they just went about that. Hey, good morning. I just found something talking about the foods that they had back then. Say, did the Pilgrims have sweet potatoes and other 1621 foods? Hold on. Trimming turkeys and decoration for holidays meals was the focus this week. Wait, no. They not talking about the past. Okay, here we go to the end. For most Americans, the traditional Thanksgiving meal includes a turkey stuffing, cranberry sauce, potatoes, and pumpkin pie or sweet potato pie from the South. While there are numerous regional and ethnical variations, this basic menu, yeah. Let's get down. Potatoes. I knew it was something about potatoes. Potato. Mm-hmm. They were always jacking each other, so when they came across simple people, they took advantage. Oh, I like how you put that. Well, thanks for that. They was always jacking each other. It was already the tie on that. It was already part of the culture. So what else was they going to do? They was perfecting this. They was perfecting this amongst each other. Or not perfecting this, just experiencing it. It's like when, like, people that grow up in the hood, and they always be like, you can't take the hood out of the nigga, and when you take them to another scene, they still gonna, like, act the same way, say the same words, they probably steal something out of your purse. Or something like that. I'm thinking about somebody's uncle right now that just can't stop stealing things from his own nieces. And he just did it again last week. So it's some things that's embedded in how people are so comfortable with living that you can take them to somewhere else, and unless they have a psychedelic experience as well as some good people around them for some good integration and some new thoughts to try to build up a new character or rearrange the character around, man, that person is still a nigga. That person is still a nigga. A nigga is a nigga. We are who we are.
Ray probably like, I can't believe my brother.
But
Ray.
Huh?
I know Ray like, I can't believe my brother.
What I was going on about potatoes. I'm like, what I was going on about potatoes. There it is. I knew something about potatoes. Hopefully y'all can see this. Let me try this then. Make this screen like this. There you go. Potatoes, which has originated in South America, had not yet made their way into the diet of the Wampanoag in 1621, though through though the Wampanoag did eat other local varieties of tubers. By 1621, potatoes, both sweet and white, had traveled across the Atlantic to Europe, but they had not been generally adopted into the English diet. The sweet potato, originating in the Caribbean, was cultivated in Spain and imported into England. It was a rare dainty available to the wealthy, who believed it to be a potent aphrodisiac. So they ate it to get their dicks up. The white potato was virtually unknown by the average early 17th century Englishman. Only a few gentlemen, botanists, and gardeners were trying to grow this colonial oddity. I knew something about them potatoes. Oh, so they got it from South America. They didn't get it from the Americans that was here. So the typical menu of a Thanksgiving dinner is actually more than 200 years younger than that 1621 celebration that reflects the holiday. New England's roots in a Victorian nostalgia for an imagery time when hearth and home, family and community were valued over progress and change. But while we have been able to work out which modern dishes were not available in 1621, just what was served is a tougher nut to crack. So they didn't know what was going on. So what are like, man, that's why I gotta pay attention. People like, yeah, this is what they ate back then. They ain't eat none of this shit crap, man. We made this all up. Somebody remixed it. The cultural teaching makes a lattice of the self till on can check themselves from awareness beyond. Yup. It is, wait, just so I know exactly what the word lattice means. I got the context clues. But for some reason I feel like looking up a lot of stuff. A structure consistent... No. And yeah, they won't tell me. I see what you mean, you will. That it was just all just being passed down through the culture until like he was able to go to the beyond world on some kind of psychedelic or high level meditation for those folks that still do that. That's out there doing that and see how it was in the beyond. And then you can see how everything was just being pieced together. You can see Tom like this far spread apart instead of just seeing it like this. I'm like, oh, they got this from here and this from there. Potatoes play many roles in keeping people alive. Yeah, they do. I always got a stack of potatoes. They cost $3, $4, $5. They keeping me alive for a long time. $3, $4 for a whole sack. But if you buy the organic ones, they like real small. We still be switching up from time to time. But yeah, the Irish, they stuck to potatoes because that was literally the only thing they had to eat. And then, how fast do potatoes grow? How fast do potatoes? It is tempting to harvest potatoes as soon as possible. Oh, they only take 70, 121 days, 20 days. It's not that long. Man, that's like just straight through the spring and summer. And I don't think they had that much, about 2 crops a year. That's a lot. Yeah, I can do this. Bang. Oh, I love that this is working. I can't even... I love that this is working. I love it. I love that this is working. The internet, the video, the 2 screens, so I can have 2... Lovely days, lovely days, lovely days. Nah, they just straight telling me this. But yeah, the potatoes, man. I was just thinking about how easy they actually are to grow. And like, look at all of those on just. I'm just extrapolating your point that they help feed a lot of people. 'Cause like that one stalk right here has like 5 potatoes on there. I never knew how they really grew. I knew they grew underground, but I didn't know you like able to pull them out and then you can have like just a bunch of spuds on the bottom of it. Oh, that's cool. They take on a life of their own. Tastes better self-planted. Now, as soon as I have my house, my garden is gonna be on fleek. It's going. I'm gonna have everything. Oh, they do. That is the thing. Well, they do. Potatoes do grow easily. I was thinking about onions, like how you grow onions. You leave them in the dark for a while, they start sprouting. They start sprouting that easily, and that's how they was probably helping the famine back then too. How easy they were to grow. Just plant another one in the dirt, or something like that. That's my guess. That's my guess. That's how it is with onions. You ever leave an onion in the cabinet, come back, it started growing those green onion things. Use a bucket with holes. Yeah, let the oxygen get in there, whatever's in this air that we breathing in. Oxygen, nitrogen, whatever's in there. Oh, hmm. I might still try to do that in my little apartment. I tried a garden about 2 years ago, but it was mostly just flowers. And then whoever lives here when I'm going, they can just be happy with the garden. The thing I'm on now, the type time now I'm on now, I'm really tired of waiting for stuff. Like how I just said, man, when I get a house, I'm gonna do this. I got a backyard right there. It's not too big, but I'm grateful for it because we're one of the only apartments in Chico to actually have a backyard. Everybody else has like apartment complexes and things, and they don't have really personal outside space. It's all shared space. But the place that we are in right now actually have a backyard. So yeah, this idea is I'm gonna go with it. I'm gonna go with it and just see what happens. Can't hurt. Can't hurt. And then it'll be good practice. That's what I love about grassroots. Grassroots. We talking about grass. Is that grassroots is so it allows things to bubble up and just see what happened. Just see what's really going on. What's really going on. Cause you can do I don't know. I was just telling you can do something like uh, it seems though when things are too good, you miss out on having a good skill about it. You don't get as good as at it if it just goes good all the time. You don't know how to troubleshoot. And sometimes you can take advantage of those troubleshoots and make it even better overall, period. You say, yeah, use space you have wisely like wizard to grow till the space you have grows. It is. And that's that wizardry. I was trying to say like on Harry Potter, wizardry. It's wizardry. I can't say it right now. It's like it's all about. I've seen like it's all about if you're able to take advantage of whatever you have now. And the mushrooms told me this too. If you ever take advantage of whatever you have now, that's when you able to grow. Not trying to say, man, what I have sucks. What I have is not enough. That's energy. That's literally energy. It's not enough. Like, how do you feel when you say that? It's not enough. Or, it's not enough. Like, just formulating those words came from an energy. And if you had different energy, I'm seeing myself, if you had a different energy, then different words will literally be produced because they're coming from a different energy factory. And don't be so hard on yourself. Say, I mean, I can't talk like this, but just be aware of what's going on. Of what's going on. And I'm happy I'm able to see that in a lot. and a lot. Even with relationships with my mom, with anybody, with family. And like instead of saying, man, this is not the relationship I always wanted. This is not the relationship. It's like the term relationship is a big term by itself. So if you can like be good terms in a relationship with the person that you think you having a bad relationship, like after a while, like it wasn't after a while. Like when I started doing psychedelics, I started getting upset at my mom and stuff like that, cause it was stuff popping up, and it will only really come up when I was angry. But I've been holding it in for so long at that point, like 4 or 5 years ago, that that I was so used to holding it in that when I started doing psychedelics, when things would pop up, I would be angry about it. And I wasn't used to feeling angry, but I was just angry. So it wasn't even if I was used to it or not. It's just the way I was. And I was like, I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like the way you do this. Why are you not treating me like this? Or I miss this. And she's just like, wait, where's this coming from? You're only letting this out when you're angry. Like, talk, talk, talk. Talk, talk, talk. And I didn't know what was going on. But it was all, I'm trying to re-roll this too if y'all seen. I rolled it a little too tight. It's all paper, there's no blunt in there, so you know with J's you gotta make sure let that airflow get in there just right, or you gonna just miss out on your whole L. And this CBD too, so I ain't even got that much CBD THC in it. But I started getting I started being more aware, working with the mushrooms and meditating and seeing why those thoughts was coming up. Like, or not seeing why I was feeling that way, while I was feeling that way. And like getting beyond those thoughts and seeing, like having appreciation for what was actually going on. And the appreciation came from seeing where those things, where that was able to get me now right here. Because I was like, man, it could be like this, but look where I am now, where all that stuff got me to this good place. I just had to see the good in it. And then once I was able to see things like that, I was able. You said yeah, like another channel of the through waves or the waves. It's probably through waves. It is another. It is a whole nother channel. It's a whole nother channel. And then I was able to see what was going on. Bang. Open up it like it's a whole channel of like it's a whole another group of experiences and everything. Like you ain't watching WB no more. Yeah, or comedy. I'm thinking of cable stations right now. I literally turned the channel, found the remote control. Like I found the remote control. I am the remote control. This is not lighting for me. I don't know why. I don't know why it's not hitting for me. But it's alright. That's alright. Probably re-roll it. It don't really look like there's that much to really re-roll. Oh, yeah, like another channel of thought waves. Oh, I could pick it apart so well. It's cool. But it is like another channel of thought waves. And while I'm here, I did not share this to anybody. And now to wrap up that story about my mom and stuff, now we cool. Now we cool because I'm not so angry about things that was going on between us. And now I'm able to talk to her and not hold things against her. Not hold things against her. When I'm not holding and I'm seeing when I'm not holding things against her, then I'm able to talk it out and see what she want to say and just get out something quick about my day, and then we can keep it going. Not stay so tied in, so focused in on our differences. The CBD can be moist. I think it is. It is. This is not hitting at all. And I mix it with a little of the other tree too. But this CBD not hitting. Because I had a little bit of sprinkles left for some other stuff. So I was trying to mix it together. Yeah, it ain't surviving past one puff. I didn't have that happen in a long time. I remember when I grew a tree back in Philly. Hey, Exile, Exile, throwing up them gang signs. Oh, it was. I remember growing a tree back in the day, and I couldn't wait to cure it, so it was real moist. I didn't like keep it in a jar for a month. I just like leaving it out to dry a bit, and I smoked that. I grew about an ounce. That's about it. It was so good. Yo, it was a new talking about hand signs. It was a sigil that I didn't come up with. I was looking at a thumbnail, a meme or something. Did I save it? I probably can remember it. But it was cool because we like the different hand positions, like during meditating and stuff like that, and psychedelic, like not really psychedelic experience, cause you're just laying down. But like when you're getting yourself together, like when you feel as though you want to feel important, and you like want to put the hands up and stuff. Cause I feel like you said LOL, the gang of peace and love. It is international peace though, international. You know this. I don't know. I don't know where this comes from. I was thinking of the sigil. I mean the rune. How the rune piece for peace is literally a rune, and they turned it upside down or something like that. I forget what the rune actually says though. I don't have that book near me. I think it's Anzig or something like that in German. But means victory. The two fingers. Oh yeah, Victor. That thanks, bro. That makes perfect sense. That makes sense. It's not lit. It don't work. Where you about to go? You about to get a rat? Alright. Alexa, I know you was here in the chat. I know my mic was off. I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna turn it on. If you want to chat on there and talk, you can talk or stay in the chat. Whatever you want to do. We should look that up. Two fingers, peace, origin. A commonly repeated legend is that the two-finger salute or V sign derives from a gesture made by longbowmen fighting in the English archers at the Battle of Agincourt, 1415, during the Hundred Years' War, but no written historical primary sources support this conclusion. When someone tells you to fuck off, why tell someone to fuck off when you can just give them fingers? In World War II, see what this one is. How to flip someone off like a Brit. Sometimes a gesture can convey a message. Yeah, we know about that. Why tell? Gestures do transcend language. They say we like to think that gestures transcend language or are more universal. But they do, and it's all about the person that you've seen it to. The up yours gesture is made by the index and middle finger raised and parted in the palm facing yourself. In similar connotations to the middle finger gesture, but with an added element of defiance. The hand may be moved up and down for added effect. The gesture is demonstrated by these besuited chappies, and it did not load up. In a survey of gestures in 1970, his team found that these gestures are most exclusively found in the British Isles. If you're unfamiliar with this gesture, it may remind you of the peace sign. The peace sign has its own history. In World War II, the Allied forces instituted the gesture to represent a V for victory. There are images of people across Allied territories making the gesture with a palm either inward or outward, although outward became the more common orientation. So you might as well go to the store and get a wreck. I'm trying to let that for the longest time. Unless you got something out of it.
Kind of got smoking. Which round we smoking?
Jesters. Yo, it is the same you went. The jest. Coughs get mixed up with thinking. But yo, that is cool. The jesters and the jester. It is the same word, and the only difference is whatever thoughts is trying to come up in my head now. The jester just playing games. And Exile, you right. The jester archetype probably extends around the world, you said. It really does. I was watching a YouTube video somebody made about the jesters, and he wasn't even talking about DMT or nothing. But he was talking about the jester in the courts. Oh, that was a nice jump, squirrel. But the jesters that would be in the court, and how funny they was, because the jesters that was in the court, not like judge court, but in the court of where the king and queen was at, like in their palace or whatever. And they loved the jester because the jesters was the only one allowed in society to make fun of the queen and king and joke around about their life. Like how we joke around with each other and you see comedians joke around and there's like this truth to it, this element of truth. But if that comedian didn't say it in that way, they said it and you knew who they was, and somebody just walked up on the street and said that to you, like and that would be a whole nother story. They allowed the jester to be able to play around, and he was well fed. Excuse me, guys. Oh, you asked in my water. I'm still gonna drink it. But they was allowed to be the comedian and stuff. And it was something he was saying about the clothes. Like, I want to know the origin of why they chose the particular clothes they wore. Like, did they have a trip or something? Or I think a lot of people did see a lot more than what we see today. Like, a lot of people had a lot more alone time. So, they consciousness was probably experiencing different things, where they probably had a glimpse of a jester or something. The thought form is the same in entity as the term. Oh, bro, I'm too high to read this. I'm not too high. I'm high enough to read it now. The thought form is the same in entity as the term. So, as they thought about it, that's what it already was, is what I'm getting, what you're saying. So the creativeness of it was just already adapted to what the jester is in their thoughts. Which is all it is anyway, right? Because right now I'm just trying to play off thoughts as something out there, but thoughts is something really real, really real. And they it was a lot of cool things that he was saying that I wish I would have jogged down more in my visual memory. You actually got this to hit. Did you re-roll it?
No, back to that one.
I had it in two too.
For real?
It was not hitting.
Oh, you took it back off. That one.
Mm-hmm.
smell like her sister would burn real fast. He would like
Oh wow, guys, I didn't know that this screen was on there all this time. Oh my. You said Exile. You said you heard of bards, Celtic storytellers. Never wrote down anything. Knew 500 plus stories. Whoa. No, I never heard of the bards. I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna look them up. I like going in. I like looking up the Celtics and stuff from time to time because they're not really heard about. Like in my experience, I haven't ran across them that much, except for that they was like the ultimate instead of like pagans and stuff like that, and that they was worshiping spirits and Pan. I mean, yeah, Pan the with the goat legs and stuff like that. The bards held the local and old stories. Let's see about the bards. A poet, traditionally one reciting epics and associated with a particular oral tradition. In medieval Gaelic and British culture, abroad was a professional storyteller, a verse maker, composer, oral historian, genealogist, employed by a Patreon. Oh, employed by a Patreon. That's wild because I was like, yo, shout outs to Patreon. I got a Patreon account. And they help a lot of people be able to say whatever they want and tell stories and still be able to make a living. The times have not changed, my guys, my friends, UL and Exile. To commemorate one or more of the Patreon's ancestors and to praise the Patreon's own activity. Originally a Pacific lower class poet, contracting with a higher rank known as Finland, Ireland, and Highland, Scotland, with the decline of the living bardic tradition in modern period terms, bard acquired generic meanings as an author or minstrel, especially a famous one. For example, William Shakespeare. They're going to say, for example, William Shakespeare. How about the one from before Shakespeare was born? Most cultures have a storyteller, yet the church hated them, plus many royals. They did, man. But it's like the storytellers are always... Man, the storytellers are the it guys. I know you well, you got a gang of stories you could tell. Exile, you be throwing out stuff just like, I know this, I know that. Like, we telling stories. We telling stories all the time. Even creating one right now. We creating another story right now. Based off of old stories. But no, I think that is cool. I was thinking about even in rapping. Like Biggie, it was like, man, like how the world seen him. Man, he's a good storyteller. He tells good stories. He puts our history in the form of a story, and he's able to tell it in a way that we enjoy and we relate to, and that's the culture right there. Stories mirror our culture. Yep, that's how we on the same tidbit. But I was tying on Biggie. Like, that's one of the things that he's a good storyteller. Like, when they compare him to Tupac and stuff, he like to tell stories. And that's cool. Terrence McKenna, he got me into it because he told a bunch of stories. I was like, oh, what's next? Oh. And all the raps and being able to remember all the things that was said is a gift. It's not even it's an inherent gift. What I mean by inherent gift is inherited in all of us. You just gotta be present enough to receive your gift. Oh, I should write that down. Be present enough to receive your gift. That's why present and gift can sometimes mean the same thing. Here goes a present. I have a present for you. Like, I had that all the time. That was my gift. It is a gift. Here. Like, who's talking? What's happening? I went through a whole trippy scene in my mind, and like the scenes blanking out. It's like, oh, I don't feel like going back. But stories hold truths in many layers. It was all a dream. You know? And that's why, isn't that cool how that's the word that rings out in people's ears more than any of his other words too? It was all a dream. It was all a dream. Yeah, embody the stories in the moment. The stories are right there in the moment. It is. It is. Even when we telling the story, that's writing the story of another story, of somebody else's story. um, to tie this in for people in this world, when True was saying that he was out by the tree and he saw this little elf, well, I just call elf or little person, something was writing the story of everything that was going on with him while it was happening. And that the Jork, everybody keep calling me out for saying her name wrong. The Jork, one of her videos, Bachelorette, is video, and while she finds a book in the forest, and while she's reading the book is writing what she's doing. Like, it's when she like glances at the book, it's like, oh, she has a surprised look. It writes in the book. She looks at the pages with a surprised look, and it's just writing, and she's reading and just happy going along. Just happy going along. It's just writing the stories. But stories, though, man, that's why Disney is making so much money. Man, Disney made so much money because they telling the same stories, rehashing them over, putting them, remixing them, because they like know how many layers is in it, and they also know that some people gonna go their whole life not like realizing that the dark, not darkest layer. Well, yeah, the darkest layer, but not dark as in bad, but like the most occulted layer, the most hidden layer of it all. So they can just keep on pushing out the same thing, and people going to keep eating it up. Eating it up. I think most say Bjork. Bjork. I used to live near York Street. Susquehanna. It was Susquehanna, Dolphin. And then York Street. York was the diagonal street. 21st and York. I used to love that block. Well, no, I didn't. Yes, I did. I used to love skating on there. I like hearing music vids. Yeah, I like music videos. The way that they, cause the person that, man, cause I was thinking the music combined with the music videos, especially when it seemed like the music producer, like I'm not producer, the director of music videos, they like, oh, I like her music videos. Her music videos are cool. But I was about to tell you, on the people that make the music videos, they be on something. They be cool. They be cool. Because they getting out their little message too. They getting out their little message when they heard the song. Because now it's not always the artist that direct the music videos, but like the director heard the music and was like, oh, I saw a vision when I saw this. Or it reminded me of some trip that I had. But that's why I like Tyler the Creator. Tyler the Creator was cool. I used to like watching his music videos back in the day. I don't listen to him that much, at like probably 0.1% now compared to how I used to listen to him. But he always has some interesting videos to get his point across. And he said, you made 12 music videos? You could play one. I give you, hey, what's the website? I'll type it in right now. I mean, it's on YouTube. Just put the link in there. And producing a music video is fun. It's so fun. It's fun because when I'm doing it, I like to see myself, and I get real into it. I'll be getting in all the angles. Dr. Crete pyramids in the sun. I'm gonna type that in. Oh, it came right up. All right, let's check this out. Hey, yep, this is Exile. Oh, wait. I gotta change it so that I gotta reroute the audio so it plays through the computer. This is Dr. Creep Pyramids in the Sun.
Dreams and things of loving. Oh, with you cast of one. Wrote a million pages. Pyramids in the sun. There's pyramids in the sun. Pyramids in the sun.
Oh, there you go.
There's pyramids in the sun. In the sun. Born under constitutions and regulations. Storm thunder brings floods and separations. The grand master of ceremony evasions. And many will fall fast to the dark side persuasion. Lyrics corresponding numbers, language of God. The pouring harder playing rocker over lava outside. Again, Armageddon, only eight, Satan the ark. Apocalyptic depiction designed in the yard. Walking with God, I'm a modern day Enoch. Divine knowledge through the mountain doors. So you knock, I'm reaching mountain tops when the sky is dark. The reminders never lost in the sky I park. Birth of vampires, pyramids in the sun. Never heard silence on this beautiful run. Can't change what we've done with the brain and the gun. I'm removing the mask, volcanic ash in my lungs. There's pyramids in the sun. Pyramids in the sun.
This is nice, you Exile. I'm combining y'all names.
In the sun, one labeled as the door to the sheep. Now labor is warship at the will and asleep. Life, a dark scenery, advanced degrees. All the
Got the
lions on the
elderberries.
Libyan coast leave debris. Search symbolism of visions with daggers. Chaotic narrative construction of matter. They got the pyramid capstone shortcut with the ladder. Precise plan embedded deep in the chapter. The mind is blessed by light and 5 fingers. I'm still mysterious with ancients and think cleaner. Not the name of the oracles, the past daydreamers of the green and kush. Mountains preach like believers. My will remains free, I'm a warrior with honor. Travel through the light to the time of John Connor. Walk with the higher force, get worshipped by the Father. Move onward to the heights, brotherhood of authors. There's pyramids in the sun. Pyramids in the sun. There's pyramids in the sun. In the sun. Got some mortals clashing the thunderstorm. A dangerous match, you'll break your tongue with thorns. Humans won the battles overseas of corpses. Warriors stay strong, never fragile porcelain. Impressed the temples of pillars under the legends. The mission is all out, injected epinephrine. Without question, investments, the least second guessing. Resting, go for miners in what test heaven. Advanced beings from the darkest realms of space brought forth weapons and knowledge that you waste. In return were slaves, gold needed to travel. The future of man, decided by elite panels. Human skin sandals make prints through Sahara. Apocalyptic missions to end all the eras. Restore true terror, ancient world is scared straight. Temples build better to power this rare place. There's pyramids in the sun. Pyramids in the sun. There's pyramids in the sun.
Who is this mysterious guy? I want to know. Where's part 2? Bang. That was dope. That was on point. Where did you film that at? Them rocks and stuff. I never been to a place like that. Only on National Geographic. Hey, well, you said you was on Golden Cloud, Northern Arizona. For some reason, I was thinking Arizona, but I think that's because I thought that's where you was already at. Alright. I gotta go there. I'm gonna be a lot of places. I'm gonna go to a lot of places. No worries, no worries. You there. But no, that's a cool video, man. Keep making them. Keep on making them. Any ones you make too, I'll share them up here. And the lyrics was nice too. I keep on trying to ask who was the person that was rapping, but his name is Dr. Creep. Over 4 months. Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say. It was, I didn't know if it was like just sunny right before y'all started and then this random snowstorm just came. I didn't know how the weather was over there. But wow, yeah, that's a lot of energy encapsulated into a video. A lot of time. A lot of time. Time, energy, same thing. I didn't know it snowed like that in Arizona. That's cold. I didn't see snow in so long. I saw flurries. In Philly it'd be blizzards, but not right now where I'm at. And that's dedication. You didn't lose none of your computer files. You kept it all together for 4 months. But yeah, that's how I'm getting better. I'm getting better. I lost so many computers over the years. When I first moved to California, I had 2 MacBook Pros. And I was like, I'm going to keep up this Just Tie stuff and keep it on. And then I didn't have enough money to bring it on the plane with me. Then I kept asking my parents, my mom and them to send it over. Then eventually they threw it away because they said it was old. But it was a 2013 MacBook Pro, which is always upgradable. So I was like, I just didn't know. But I'm alright. Just an experience. It's just an experience. But you said on Golden Clouds, I have been to a similar place. On Golden Clouds. That was having me think of Goku when he be flying on his Nimbus cloud. When he was a kid, at least. Like, why did he give up his Nimbus cloud, man? They just took that out of the series. Nimbus cloud was real cool. I think that was before he really knew how to fly on his own. I'm not sure. Not sure. I'm not. I should be brushed up on my Dragon Ball lore. And Exile, you surprised me yesterday when you said you never watched Dragon Balls. Well, you watched Dragon Ball, but you never watch Dragon Ball Z and stuff. To me, I was like, yo, that's my staple. That's one of my groundings. But no, with the music videos, I've been making music videos for a long time as well. In school, I used to put together slideshows. It started with like PowerPoint. I guess that's that wasn't really videos. But it was still like having the mind of putting stuff together and presenting it. I used to love presenting. I never had a problem presenting. Not that I loved it, but since school wanted me to do it, I didn't have a problem with it. It was like, all right, let's do it. There was a hiatus from the Dragons. I don't remember what part. But with the music videos, I started making music videos for myself and my bro when we was in college. I can actually show y'all. Y'all want to see something? I can show y'all because I never revealed this. Because like, man, my past. I can't like. I'm me. I can't be nothing but, well, those are all phrases. I'm me. I can't be nothing but me. So let me just say it straight. No. And here go a video that I made a long time ago. Or in another form. Or whatever. However I'm trying to dress it up. I'm going to show y'all something that was made a long time ago. When I was in this group called Them Random Boys. And I love the term "them random boys" because I was always saying, man, life is chaotic. Life is life is always random. There's no real. There's like everything is just always happening. And I remember one of my friends, his brother used to say, man, I don't think y'all should go with the term random boys because that just shows that life doesn't really have a purpose and that things is always just chaotic and stuff. But that was the vibe that I was on in high school. I was like, yo, we them random boys, random boys. We random. And and that's how it was. And that's how it was. That's how I came up with random boys. And now look where I'm at with just Ty and stuff like that. Oh, but except for you said I didn't watch Dragon Ball after the first couple seasons of Z. It was on regular TV. Oh, you were saying you took a hiatus. Oh, I get it. I get what you're saying. Hiatus from Dragon Ball. You two switch me to older one of your vids. Which one? YouTube be doing their own thing. I used to watch Dragon Ball Z on Toonami. That was my thing. But yo, look at this, guys. Them random boys. This was I. Let's talk like that. This was I. Them random boys, random living, random hip hop, them random boys. And I always wanted to get back into this account, but I don't remember the email address to it. So I can't get in. They even try to reset my password. Why did you? I gotta see what was up with 41. It's always somebody watching. Oh, the one with the faces too. Probably. With the entity faces. The purple green one. That would be funny. Oh yeah, got the weed and wine. Say it like oh, alright, I'm gonna show y'all the one. You can contact them to get that page, I think. I should try something. Now we conjuring this up now. I'm gonna try something. Here go one I made. Called hip hop. Oh, this is funny, and I made the video too. Me jumping on rocks.
Random boys. I'm feeling like I'm about to explode. Riding in my lane, nigga, you bound to get told. I can't remember half the shit that I've been told. So I'm out here on this earth, creating my own role. Unlike my pops, I ain't going to fold. I feel like I got shot, but my soul's too cold to notice. All I gotta do is focus. They said put in hard work, fuck that hocus pocus. My life's full of plagues, but I killed all you locusts. We all came to smoke, so come on and roll it. I hate messing with bitches who hold it up. Holding up my highs like stopping no orgasm. Bongos and vapes, I just gotta have them. Appear in your face just like a fucking phantom. Then take your bitch and scream random. So now you know how I roll. Then watch the story of the
What? Oh, this is funny, guys. I was at a point in my life. I was in college, smoking, and trying to express the things that was going on in me through an attitude. I'm not gonna play the whole thing, but that was me rolling up. I said I'm just gonna sit here and roll up the whole time. And that was my breast both Billy and Confidence. But Billy, I used to live with him for a good 3 years. That was my bro. And we used to just smoke and talk and ride longboards and meet up with people. Buddha's still in the background. Yup. Confidence knew. Confidence was cool. He knew those kind of things like internally. But Ozo, oh, they was my bro. Somebody stole that sweater. But no, that was my bro for a long time. Alright. But you said it's you from another time. You didn't lose anything but access to alter what was. I didn't lose anything. I really didn't. It still seemed I still seem the same, but different. Like you said, it's altered time. Like looking at another me, like that's me, but it's not me. It's me. Like hold on. I think it was something particular I wanted to show. Dang, I got all my old music here, my old playlist. Under Oath, Zelda Piano Melody, Heaven Shall Burn, Lil Wayne, Slayer. It's funny. This is the New John Bez. I love New John Bez. Vince Sevenfold, Styles P. And guys, I'm not promoting for anybody. I know y'all know I'm not, but for those coming around, I'm not promoting like my old rap videos and stuff and all like that. I'm just, this is just really a trip down memory lane. What? Learn from the past, live in the present. That's why I'm trying to stay high every second. And now I have a daughter.
You can hear it in my tummy. I'm hungry to the cokehead to warm me. Matter of fact, inform me. Don't fall for the shit just cause you a little horny. Vibe don't fall anything. I put that on everything. Taking flight, just rolled up a pair of wings. Come test my click if you dare ring. Watch some whiz.
I'm trying to be so aggressive.
None of you niggas I'm fairing. Always feels like my life is tearing apart. But I know my random heads got me from the start. Fuck with each other all day, but
never take it to heart.
We here shining like a
The lamp in the dark.
Your flames get extinguished like when I spark up my lighter. They saying we cause fires. I hate liars and we defy.
It's funny because the age I'm in this video is the age that people think I am now. I was like 20, 21 in this video, and that's how old people think I still am now. And I'm about to turn 28 on December 8th.
Learn from the past cause I'm history in the making. So take notes as I take totes of the marijuana smoke. Or you gon' get
shout outs to Biggie, we was talking about him.
I make 6 songs. Learn from the past, live from the present. That's why I'm trying to stay high every second. Learn from the past, live in the present. That's why I'm trying to see cash every second. Learn from the past, live in the present. A body drops in Philly every second. Don't know the person, but we know the weapon. Don't know the person, but we know the weapon. Yeah.
I was saying, how we get into this? Oh, we was talking about. Wait a second. He just said it. How did it start? And I was just thinking to myself, wait, how did this start? Me looking up videos like this, but shout out. He was talking about music videos and stuff like that. But yeah, I titled that mixtape "Mass Mania" because I was going through a lot of depression back then, and I was trying to stick, but I was feeling good, and I was learning about the what psychiatrists use. I was like, oh, I feel like I'm in my manic state right now. I'm not depressed. I'm feeling good. So I named the mixtape of that Mass Mania. And it's supposed to be all the good thoughts that I had, all the thoughts that push me through my depression, that get me through the fire. Like, that's what that mixtape was for that time that it was. The words are very insightful. That's what I tried to keep it back then. I tried to keep the words like that. And then I always mixed it up with what was going on to try to keep it popular. I always felt myself, I gotta say, you can't mess with me because it's like this. Like, just have a bar like that. But the words, I love, every time I look at the words though, I love the words. Just like you said, the words was the reason why I always kept going back to writing. I was like, yo, when I actually look back at the works, it was actually cool. I probably didn't enjoy the production that much, like in the actual like the mic that it was recorded on and stuff like that. But I get in the zone. I gets in. This is actually, but Mass Mania. Oh, it was something about the cover. And when I was working with the cover on Photoshop, and I was moving things around, and it was like this black kind of entity thing popped out. And I remember saying, "Oh yeah, that's my buddy. That's my buddy." Let me see if it comes up still. Vibe, Mass Mania Vibe, Random Boys. I'm trying to see if I can find the cover, cause I don't remember what I really uploaded. Oh, y'all might remember datpiff.com, datpiff.com. I have not searched in this site in years. What the? Wait, they still got my login saved? Hold up. Oh no. Let's just search this. Huh, it came right up. Let me show y'all what I'm talking about. Mass Mania. I'm gonna make the cover come up. Dang, I can't make it. I can't enlarge it. And we just gonna have to do this. There he goes. That picture right there. That came about from me using Photoshop. And I was messing with a filter, turning it around. And then that face with the eye popped out. Like I didn't superimpose that on top of that image. That image was already there. Was morphed into it when I was moving it around. I found that to be so. I found that magical at the time. I didn't know about psychedelics and stuff, so that was the magic for me back then. The segue was sharing 13's work. Yeah, it was. It was. I remember now. Because I was like, how did we get here? Oh yeah, that's that guy. Alright, how do I zoom back out? Zoom, 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 zoom. But I had the titles was Clutch, No BS, One More Pill, Dreams Are Forever, Light as Ever. What was this one? Does it still play? Because I don't even think I have copies of this music myself. It only exists online. Oh, I got stuff on there so no website can just make their own stuff pop up. Some firewalls in check. What is this? I gotta be able to see the YouTube. You ever see orb with one eye that is always grinning? You say, well, I never seen it like outwardly. I never seen it outwardly, but I seen it in I'm thinking about the flask and Full Metal Alchemist. It brought me back to that. The flask and Full Metal Alchemist that started the whole thing in the beginning. That started the whole series to begin with. If you know that's the storyline to it. His voice was so funny. Ah, nothing is playing. Okay. I gotta find a way to get that music. I gotta be able to show my daughter. Oh, it's on your cover art? That's what I was saying in my head. I was saying the only time I seen it is on my cover and on the flask. And on the flask in Full Metal Alchemist, which is what it reminded me of too. But I guess I did see it. Wait, is the audio behind? Hold on. Your cover art? That's what I was saying in my head. I was saying the only time I seen it is on my cover and on the flask. Cause it seemed like you're writing. It seemed like you're writing to me on the flask about things I just said. So I don't know if it's lagging. My cover and on the flask. Cause it seemed like you're writing. It seemed like you're writing to me on the flask about Wait a second. I just turned on the audio. It's like two. So I don't know if it's lagging. I just heard myself twice. I'm confused. Hold on a second. It seems like you're writing to me about. Wait. Hold up a second. What? Sorry, guys. I just gotta check this out. It's like I'm hearing myself in the past in the background. Sorry, guys. I just gotta check this out. They're like, why is he standing here? It's like I'm hearing myself in the past in the background. My bad. Once again. Just wanna. Yeah, OBS disappeared. Don't leave me. Oh. Bro, that's what it is. It's Discord. I'm like, huh? There it is. Okay. Problem solved. Let's get the audio camera from here when it comes to this. There it is. And I have to reroute this audio to here. All right, now I got you. Bang, bang. Now it's working.
Yes, sir.
I had to get that figured out. What you up to?
Dope. I'm chilling.
Uh-huh.
I was saying your music's dope.
Oh, thanks. The reason I stopped is because I had a kid.
For sure.
I said, I'm not doing this. I said, I ain't going nowhere. I got a girlfriend. I got all laid up. Slowed down. But now I'm like, all right. I got to do everything now. Just in a whole revamped way.
I feel you. There was a group of us, probably like 4, 5, 6 of us that got together like 2002, 2003, and then there's probably 2 guys still making music. Like I'll still produce and I'll direct, but not really front man anymore. More like behind the scenes. I like creation.
I think that's how it is for people like us. Because I was doing the same thing. I was the one that was starting it up. Even though they was always rapping, I was like, oh, we got to come up with a name. We can do this and that.
Right.
And nowadays, it's like, I want to make sure, I want to curate everything. See how we dancing. How can I open back OBS? Oh wow. No, it's like now OBS is doing a thing. That's the thing I used to broadcast. It just has a white screen. I wish I could. I really can't click it. Wait. Let me try this. Let me take out that second screen and then see if the screen. Yep, there it goes. See, we always know the answer. I had to unplug the extended screen, and then it just popped back up. Here we go. All right. Okay, we back. Y'all still gotta know, I'm real surprised that all of this is working, period. And so I'm like waking up in a dream still right now. Even with these technical issues, thank y'all for like experiencing this alongside with me, because this is still pretty cool to me. The fact that this is possible, like a podcast type scenario, like being able to talk it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, just talking. I was watching a little bit of Joe Rogan yesterday. Let me stop trying to give him a nickname. I don't know the dude. But Joe Rogan yesterday. And he had one of the people that's running for president on there. It was, I forget how to say her name. It was a lady that's has Latino descent in her. But the reason I brought it up is because Joe was talking to her about how, and I just agree with it too, about how crazy it is that the political system, the person that we choose to be our president or anybody that got be on that stage, they only have like 45 to 90 seconds to get a whole point across, and then they literally have to stop. They got a timer and they have to stop literally what they were saying, so now somebody else can counter their point. I'm like, how much are you really saying in 40 seconds? Like, that's a Twitter statement. It take me longer to come. It's like we talking in Twitter and tweets. And then being satisfied with that. Like,
Yeah, long form conversation is kind of lost in the mainstream media.
and it's promoted too, because they was bringing up the commercials. Like the lady was saying, yeah, it's hard being up there on the stage because then we have to stop for a deodorant commercial, and then we gotta sit behind the stage, and then like they let them know it's a commercial break right now, and then we gonna come back and be live. Like that, the people that's running the country, and they have to enact laws supposedly that we have to, like, you know how it is with the law and stuff. However you interact and counter the law is up to you, but they the ones making it. And they working around commercials and TV, like deodorant commercials or anything. And I heard it's not like that over in Europe in a lot of the countries. Like they would have commercials where they can talk, like 5-minute commercials where the politician or whatever is able to actually talk. Even if it's just 5 minutes, it's better than 5 seconds. But that's where we are now. That's why Trump was able to be president.
They should just live stream it, right? And then put it on C-SPAN, that government 24 all the time. And then if the other channels want to syndicate off of it, they just got to run their commercials and not catch all the information. I think the information is important. Hopefully, as we get older and people, like our age and younger. I'm 36.
Mm-hmm. I'm 27.
like there's people around 50, 60 kind of. There's more of this kind of mindset, but as you get younger and younger, this mindset kind of pervades.
It is. That's why I don't want to completely feel like the old man on the mountain already. Like, you youngsters. But it is something that, like, even when you were saying about live streaming it on C-SPAN, like, they can live stream it on YouTube. They could do it for free. Like, why not?
Exactly.
It's free on YouTube. You can just share the link. You don't gotta worry about commercial breaks or even having to deal with no ads or anything like that. You can actually make money off of it. You have YouTube put ads on it for you. And people can skip those. and it don't make you have to skip what you gotta say. It's like superimposed over your reality instead of like being there.
So if there's an obvious solution to a problem and you don't take that route, what does that say?
You monkeys. You apes. But no, we always gonna be nothing but apes. But no, we more, you know what I mean, when it comes to a lot of
Or
things.
or is it we don't talk about politics and religion at the table?
Mm-hmm. Man, and yeah, because you start saying names, calling people names, and they're like, I ain't that. And they said, well, the evidence fits. The evidence fits that this really does not work. So, what does a person that continuously does something that does not work? What do we call those type of people? Like in a relationship, we call them trapped and confused or infatuated. Like infatuated by an old idea or by a beauty or a tradition or something. Like get out of these infatuations. Like move on. Move on. That's why I am for like even if it is like faster, like as well as I just like having two more than one avenue. Like if it is the fast thing going on, like have this as well. Like have this as well. If I'm going to be paying any kind of attention to it anyway. If I'm paying some kind of attention to it, I want more than one type of avenue. Because even like when you go on, they say, oh, we do got avenues. You look at CNN and Fox and all of them things. They all pre-programmed to say a certain to say the story from a certain perspective, and that's already known, thanks to The Simpsons, and people like us, and people before us too. But no, they all got a prescribed story so that when a Trump story pop up or any story, even with Obama, or even like back to as far as I can remember when I started paying attention and stuff, is back with George Bush and stuff. Like whoever's telling the story is how the story is going to be heard, and people all taking sides, all taking sides. And the thing is not the politicians. I mean, the media outlets is taking the place of the person that's actually talking. Like even when the person is talking, the person that's asking them questions is asking them questions in a way that their company asks questions. Not really in the way that even that particular journalist that was going out into the world to ask questions and write them down and tell the world about it. Like it's not even up to them. What you say?
You're right.
Yeah. So it's a lot of lostness going on. Like people with good intentions and people with ad revenue intentions. They all coming up. You well say, yeah, they set up duality for the people. It's a straight duality. And then like when you forget about all of it, you be like, man, I'm just lost. I don't care about none of that stuff. And then you just feel more disconnected. And then you feel alienated. And then it's not until psychedelics you get cool with that alienated word. But without that, a lot of people still just be running around and feeling as though they don't have any power. That's what I don't like. Feeling like you don't actually have any power, period. Like psychedelics give you that power above the law, but when you still like meddling in the law and stuff like that, I still like to feel like I could say can form my own opinion off of things and not be so force fed. I got off the news, period. And my grandma would be asking, well, you gotta know if there's a murderer living up the street still. I'm like, it's probably a murderer living next door. Actually, I know it's a murderer that lived 4 doors down. We just don't say nothing. Oh, it's all around. It's all around. But I think with politics, it got to come to a point where they got to know that they can have their own website and run or YouTube page or something like that. Because it's people like us in the politics still. I think it's people like with our kind of ideals that still like running the game, running the game. I used to think that it was nobody, and that everybody that was hippies or anything like that had nothing to do with the government or any of that. So it's like, all right, let me do the same. And still, I'm not a politician or something, but I still have a voice, and the people we talk to and things like that, that influences our surroundings and what actually goes on. What actually goes on. So everything matters and everything doesn't matter at the same time. So why not talk about it? Why not just, hey, know a little something, something here and there. Feel good. Feel good about the day. Feel good. Instead of feeling all lost. Feeling lost and feeling like you not home. You not home and stuff. That's where depression found a way in. Depression or the things like, man, I got it. Got my way and I got a foot in the door. Oh, that took a minute. Where you go? Oh. But yeah, guys, it's Thanksgiving. I forgot it. She was saying she came back with some butter. I was like, why we need butter? It's ours giving. It's our giving. It's where we give to ourselves. Well, I don't know where I was going with that. Because I was really thinking the R like O-U-R. I just be throwing stuff out there. You never know what you can catch. My mouse is trying. There it goes. But yeah, y'all got anything that's on your minds? Exile, if you're there, how you gonna spend your Thanksgiving day or dinner or November 28th? Every day is Thanksgiving, like it's every holiday. It is every day. Like just going off that word alone, you're not getting trapped in that. Every day is a day of thanks. It's a day of thanks and take reverence and what's going on around us, and really take it in on a level that pushes past our everyday worries and everyday programs that make us go about and do things. It really is. It really is every day. That's why I was switching it up. Like Thanksgiving, or how are we spending November 28th? Oh. How are we spending this? Like I said in the beginning, today is gonna be mostly it's gonna be me and my daughter today. My girlfriend going to work, family all over there on the East Coast. So naturally, organically. I don't know what natural means. I don't really like the word naturally, but organically, we're just making it is what it is every day, the best day ever. Like just like SpongeBob. I was thinking that show is the best day ever. No, I love SpongeBob, man. I love SpongeBob. I used to say that the guy I used to work with was like SpongeBob because he was extra giggity at work all the time. Like he was always high. He was like always like, like really, really highbrow about a lot of things you could say. Really highbrow. And it just reminded me of SpongeBob. The way that he would talk and like try to be happy about every scenario. Or not try, he just was. Y'all know how SpongeBob personality is, especially as opposed to a Squidward. Man, I was just trying to break down everything, don't I? I was just thinking about SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward. That duality going on. And it is that how people love the Patrick archetype. The Patrick archetype. Let's break down SpongeBob. You see how he always like people call him dumb, stupid, but he was SpongeBob's best friend, and not Squidward's really best friend. And I just see it as all the ideals that they was having. Like Patrick probably laughed a lot more than SpongeBob. Patrick has more fun than SpongeBob, and the way that he talks and puts words together, it's like it reminds me of how I like myself in the mind state that's similar to shrooms, where it's not that much processed thinking. It's not that much processed thinking. It's like if you are going to think, it's just this what it is. It can be silly, it can be irrelevant, but this is what was on my mind. And I don't know if it relates to this. I don't know if a penny relates to a rock, but this is a penny. This is a rock. This is a penny sitting on a rock. It's just there, and I can really laugh about that. And what I see about the patch, it remind me of Keenan and Kel and Good Burger, like home of the Good Burger. Can I take your order? Like those characters are always the funniest ones, and I think that's because that's an archetype that people are not really used to embodying. That's the art like that. It's not they're not really used to it because like you're not stupid. You're still here. You still got your house. You take care of yourself. You eating all of that. It's just a giggity about you, about how reality is. You're still here in reality, but you got this plate. You're not at the same time. And most people will see that as stupid growing up. Like, man, you need to learn. You need to learn these skills. You got to study more. You got to do this. You got to do that. And then most time that make the person a little more aggravated about life. I'm thinking about people with autism too. But it ranges past beyond autism. But, yeah, have fun. Have fun. But you always say, yeah, use the situations they set out as an experience for you and yours to connect. Connecting to a lot of people, different experiences through how it's set out through situations. Oh, yeah, you're right, you well. Now you see what I did there? I read it backwards. Most time reading backwards and seeing the ins and outs. Yeah, the simple outlook can be the clearest in many moments. The cliche, I call them the cliche moments. The cliche moments where people say that can't be true. That's too simple. Like that's most of the time that is what is true. The first thought that I usually have. Now I'm going more off of them more, so this saying kind of don't make sense. But the more I'm going more off of my first thoughts, and it's allowing me to go more in the flow. Because going with the flow would mean in this moment can mean that like you knew the answer and then you was confusing yourself and did something else and then something else and then something else and then somehow in the end it led back to the first thing and then you're like, this is all I had to do in the first place. I knew it, but it was just so simple. I didn't want to just unplug the computer and plug it back in. I wanted to go in and troubleshoot and mess with the MDOS and change some stuff around. All I had to do was unplug it and plug it back in. And that's how I used to fix a lot of computers back in the day when I worked for the school district. I would just unplug it, plug it back in. They'd be like, oh, it's a miracle. Wow. Oh, thank you, Ty. Thank you, Ty. And I would just go back and just sit on the computer, watch YouTube videos, or that's around time I was meditating and reading and stuff. But it was cool. Sometimes I did have to go in. And it was cool that I had the skill to be able to go in. But that skill wasn't always needed. The skill wasn't always needed. And I'm just wrapping up. This is the kind of the lessons that the mushrooms just be showing you. And you can read them out in your everyday life. Because this is what all the mushrooms we trying to show you is what you already doing. Just more. Just on a point that you never really saw before. Like that's all they doing. It's showing you something that you already doing. Even if you in another reality, you already in another reality. Look. I don't know how they doing it. I don't know how or why, but it's done and it's being done. It's a LOL hard reboot. It is a big reset. A big reset. Man. And compared to the vacations people paying thousands of dollars for, I'll call it a real reboot. A reboot. I was gonna say rebut. Reblet. Comedy. It's so fun to have comedy. Imagine if a world where comedy doesn't exist. Or can't exist. Can a world like that even exist? Or comedy is not allowed? But in order for it to not be allowed in the first place, it would have to have had existed to be banned. So that's a paradox right there. Yeah, many times the simple can get done fast and easier than the greatest tool or skill. You just reminded me of painting, you will. Painting, like, you ever see people do acrylic? I don't have my acrylic pour over here. But, I got an example for y'all. Okay, I had this right. If I was to see something like this, and I thought that it took skill to make this, like actual skill to make this, like gotta go to school and learn art and do all this other things, I probably would have never made this. Or if I was looking at this trying to recreate it, I'd have said, okay, so I gotta have the skill. I'm gonna start somewhere. I'm gonna paint this white thing. Then I gotta get the red, and I gotta paint this red. Then I gotta get in between that red and make that blue right there. Then I gotta like make a square right there. Use this paintbrush and make a square right there with this little hump so I can color in that blue space in the bottom. And then I gotta do that. And then I probably start with a sketch first and then sketch it out and then do all of that. I didn't do any of that when I made this. Any of that. All I did was get real trippy. Kind of trippy. And then I've painted one layer, one color that I enjoyed while I was making it. And then I painted the box. And then while the paint was still wet, I just made some random drippers in there, mixing the paint colors together. I didn't know what was going on. It just looked cool. And then I just kept building up more random simple ideas. I don't even remember how I did the swirls. But I didn't what did I do? I think I did something where I had paint on there, red and white paint, and then I had some kind of wood or something, and I just kept on scraping it in a circle. I said, oh, that look cool. Oh, that look cool. And I just kept layering it on top. And then eventually I had this. Which to me, it looked like something is spinning out of this world, out into this other geometric space from the black into there, and it's like coming out. It's like a spinning thing. That's how I see it in my imagination. Okay, like, and that's like kind of a face. But I didn't have any skill to do that. And I'd be looking at YouTube videos. I'd be like, yo, these acrylic pours and stuff is awesome. It just take imagination, energy, and putting in the time to actually create it. That's all. Yeah, like creation, layer, and entangle. It looks like Engi, the Lord of Flame. Engi, the Lord of Flame and Dance. Oh, it does look like he's dancing. And he red like a flame. So let me look up how this Engi character looks. Stocks came up. See what come up. spell check. I had it right. There we go. There we go. Wait, no, that's a person. Oh, it didn't come up. Oh, there it is. There's only 3 pictures. Hindu. Wait, let me show y'all what I'm looking at. So y'all just look at my neck being turned. I don't really have any good pictures. Oh, I like this one though. Let me see what this is. This is just 2 skeletons though. Tibetan dance. Protectors of wait, what is this about? They're the protectors of truth. Tibetan skeleton dance. Cemetery protectors of truth. In sacred Tibetan skeleton dances, 2 dharmapalas, protector of truth, or harmapalas, appear played by monks, deities who rose to protect the cemetery grounds. Their presence also reminds the audience of the ephemeral nature of this world, and of their own mortality. The cult of the second Buddha, Padmasahida, initiated the practice through the rich mythological literature. It's lit! Yo, you see the dragon near his feet? I want them pants. I need them pants. Them pants is nice. I'm gonna bring that back. They can be like, yo, that's new. They are like the Gidi, the Hidi, the Lola. Yo, I really want them pants. You still there? Alright, cool. I'm still on the other screen. Oh, you brought this up before to me. I was like, it seemed familiar. It seems so familiar. But I remember you and King Oz brought this up. Yep. The Haitian, the pronounced Gidi. Okay, the Gidi in Haitian Creole are a family of Loa that embody the powers of death and fertility. Gidi spirits include Gidi Dolbai. I can't read those words. Gidi Lento, Gidi Lora, Gidi Nimbo, and Gidi Tamilas are all known from the drum rhythm and dance called the Bada. Oh, so when you play that rhythm, there they go. In possession, they will drink or rub themselves with a mixture of Crarin, raw rum, and 21 Scotch bonnets or goat peppers. Fiti Ganda is celebrated on 2 November, All Souls Day. Oh, Festival of the Dead. Boons granted by the Ganti, not repaid by this date, will be avenged afterwards. Don't mess with them. All Souls, November, October. Oh, Halloween. I'm like, wait a second. It's something about All Souls Day and Halloween or All Saints Day. My bad. Months is real confused for me. I was looking at November like it came after October. I was like, is that about to come up tomorrow? After Thanksgiving? But yeah, I hear what you mean. About the dance that they do, and protecting and reminding people about what's going on. You ain't gonna live forever. This body that you in, it's mortal. Every Tibetan Buddhist monastery is guarded by fearsome protector deities. The Dharmapala, demonic entities ringed by fire with wild eyes, sharp claws, long fangs, garlands of human skulls, and multiple arms carrying weapons and potent symbolic objects. Despite their fearsome appearance, they protect the Dharma, Buddhist teachings, from the forces of ignorance, attachment, and aversion. I look at the same way as Christianity or anything. I think the people create the ascended masters, whoever those people are, if we want to give them a term, or us in that higher level, created these so-called monstrous, like shocking forms to so-called scare us away from it. Because you know how we felt in the beginning? Oh, it's a demon. Oh, it's a monster. We must slay Frankenstein. We must slay Shrek. We gotta kill Shrek. He's a monster. Or any of that. And we was always like bred to be scared of monsters, all of that. And then the ones that was always into monsters, always, or into the scaredy stuff, always had this extra essence about them. Or the ones that destroyed the monsters always was the ones that was called the hero, or you had to call upon a hero to destroy the monsters or the demons and stuff like that. Call the pastor, call Jesus, call the priest, call anybody. Call these people to take care of the monster that's being presented to you. And now, yeah, what you mean to their culture, but to the foreign ones. That's what I mean. I'm going on a bigger scale, like anybody foreign, like foreign to the truth of yourself. Like all these things, like, man, I don't want to see this. I don't want to see nothing bad, or I don't want to see nothing, like during trips and stuff. And that will stop people from going on a psychedelic trip. Not wanting to see something bad. Not wanting to see monsters or all of that. Not knowing that it's all good. That is all good. And that's why I love the cartoon. Check out this cartoon. Things can get a little weird, can get a little wild. I'm not from around here. I'm from another dimension, can get a little weird. We're gonna have a good time. I ain't from around here. But it's a show called Star versus the Forces of Evil. It's a cartoon that comes on Disney XD. And she's friends with all her monsters, and she has this boy that lives in like the regular world, but she's from another dimension, and she's comfortable with all the creatures that's there. Marco is the boy, and Marco at first wasn't all up the hip with it, but then eventually started seeing like all the monsters and stuff was friendly. Like if she see a monster and Marco's scared, she'd be like, oh, come here, girl, oh, give me a hug, oh. And then the monster that seemed all scary would literally turn into a smile and start smiling, and then like turn into a puppy-like character, and then they start having fun from there. It's like the gatekeepers are really the homies. The gatekeepers really the homies. They just doing their job. They playing their role for a moment. And I think it looked beautiful. I don't even think they look scary or ugly. I'm like, oh wow. I don't have that many teeth. Yeah, they make up how the beings should be treated like they do with people. Yeah, they do. Everybody want to tell everybody how to do stuff. Like, this is what you're supposed to do. This is how you interact when you see this being or this dragon. Isms become self, and self is lost. Oh. Yeah, do you right? I got distracted. I'm sorry. You was right. You said isms become self, and self is lost. Yeah, a lot of isms. A lot of isms. I was just making up words in my mind. I was thinking about Judaism, and I was trying to think about other isms, but I know they're there. They're just not coming to my mind right now. But the feeling is there. Hey, let's see how people get caught up in. Ooh, I was looking up the word ism. Hey, no, this like a science show. Ism. A distinctive practice, system, or philosophy, typically a political ideology or an artistic movement. Yeah, political ideology. Fascism. Yeah. Information security management. Being secure in the ways that things are being managed in the system. And people don't like to feel insecure or unsecure or be like, man, this I didn't expect that to happen. They like, man, I can't live in a world where unexpected things happen. I gotta know. The Lord and Lady can usually be distinguished from other skeleton deities by the crowns with 5 human skulls, as well as the fan-shaped ornaments on their ears. They represent a diamantic vision of death and transformation, and a joyous freedom from attachment rather than morbid permission. As the imagery conveys in Western societies, according to the literature, they are not to be confused with Samashana Ahipati, who are wisdom protectors and emanations of that guy and pictured above. There are secret skeleton dances that accompany a chode or ceremonial practices not seen publicly. They are performed within the monastery or alone in the cemetery when they on them plants. Meditating in a cemetery or in carnal grounds is one of the advanced practices a yogi can do in order to better understand their impermanence. That is a beautiful statue. Hmm. That's dope. Let me post this. I think I'm glad I got on this morning. Glad I got on this morning. The old way to travel to beyond. Yeah, you walk through the meditation. The dancing, dancing yourself into ecstasy. Oh, you wrote it just as I was saying. Yup, dancing to get lost in your spirit. Dancing yourself up into ecstasy. Getting into that drum circle. Because I think it is a reason why a lot of people can't dance. I used to not be able to say, even like jokingly around, say that I knew how to dance. And I only say I know how to dance because I let myself go. I'm not thinking about it as much as I used to. But no, yeah, being stiff, I think it's something up with being stiff. Like my shoulders used to be, like I don't know, I knew about rhythm and stuff. It just wasn't my character. But it does connect you to like your spirit. Get that form in you. Get a different form in you at least. You're right about that. You were. I was trying to post this in True Discord, but I don't really know how much longer I'm gonna be on. Let's see. Just do a period. Live for a bit. Type that in. I should have been posted that. When everything's going so good though, I'm not worried about it. It's going good now, but I just don't be that worried about. I just be wanting to just set up and just turn on the camera and just go at it. Not just one, because that's what it's doing. That's what it's building up to. It's building up to me being able to just hook it up. Hook it up and turn it on. In random news, I'm gonna make some food tonight. I brought some chicken. I haven't ate chicken in probably 2 years, so that's gonna be fun. We had that whole vegans talk already. I don't want to go back in it. It was just a thought that came to my mind. I bought some yesterday, and it's from a farm that's actually close to Chico. I forget the name of it. I didn't really care. It's just that I saw this at a local farm. I knew at the moment what was going on. Why is it? Thank you, Pop. I guess the thought that's going through my mind is something that I used to be scared of. Oh, what's going on? My TS, you said there was a story that was told to Carl Jung. The tribe has to dance with women dressed in a certain way, like keep the tradition of the dreams, and then the Spanish or whatever. I never heard Carl Jung say that, but he said a whole bunch of stuff I never heard. He wrote a lot. Change the collective cluster of dreams. Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Because the dancing and stuff, like man, I can, like, the flowness of it. Like your garments is all part of the dance. Your garments you wear, the environment that you're dancing in, because you're dancing with the objects around you. You're dancing in it, with it, and then the way that the clothes sway. And I watch a lot of anime too. Plus, I'm in my senses a lot, so I'm talking and I'm envisioning. But y'all get it? Why I'm so over explaining? But yeah, the dancing and the way that when you move like this, probably like this turns and moves and bends with the wind. Like, all of that is talking. All of that is dancing. All of that is the presence being embodied as much as it can into the experience. Because it's all up there. It's everything. It's everything. But and being able to and it's creating down was here too. And being able to realize how much is in there and play with it as much. Like, the more we play with that stuff, the better. The more we play. I was even tying on Kalindi when he was talking about the martial arts and the swoop of the dress, the kilt, when he swooped the leg up, and how that means that captures. I can't put it into words. I just know what it means. It's in all the kung fu movies, the dancing. Like, look at it compared to a person. Look at a person dancing in a suit. Like, come on, what they doing? People used to dance with the flow of nature. Like, why did you just turn your leg that way? The wind picked it up. The wind picked it up and I spun with it. I remember feeling like that on acid for the first time. Like I said before, I was a stiff. I didn't really know what dancing was. But I was just twirling in circles. Twirling in circles like a little old fairy. And it felt cool, like the rush. And even feeling like how my blood in my face and stuff was like when you turn, like, you only really feel this when you're real dizzy or when you're really into it. Like, you could feel everything. You could feel the movements. And it's like you're creating a cyclone. And it's cool that psychedelics allow you to see what a professional or somebody that has been doing that all of their life feels when they're doing it. And why they dedicate their whole life to that. Like, why they dedicate their life to the art, to their dance, in particular what we use now. I was thinking about Beyonce. Beyonce, people look up to her as Lord, Queen queen, your majesty, all of the above. And it's because of how much of the ocean, I think you brought this up before, that she's able to embody. And even with her dancing, she embodying a whole bunch of different forces. In her dancing, the way she presents herself, like the mystery of her, like she tries to stay mysterious about things. So it's like this what you're saying about her, not really what she's saying about herself, so she can keep on doing her thing and stay with the flow. And but just her dancing, and it don't gotta be the best dancing, but the way that she's presenting it and how she in the stage that she does it on, and her attitude when she does it. It's just something worthwhile, and it's a lot of people out there like Beyonce too. It's just that's what popped in my head when we first started tainow and dancing. That was my first impression. But you see, yeah, she likes using and transmit. She does. She does lives in entrancement. She gets you in there. But I was thinking, if you use that on your own terms, like use that for your own terms, that's the embodiment that we all looking for. Not looking for, because we all searched and then we found we had everything the whole time. But that's something cool to know, like that's how it works. That's how at that level. But she is using the same trans people. But I just like to being able to do that. Like if you could do that in your bedroom for like use all that energy and then turn it on yourself. Like you'll flip around and like get warped into your own body in essence. Like, whoa, how I end up here? How did I end up here? Instead of using it as a fascination. Yeah, dance has a way of altering the energy of all. Yep. The movement, period. That movement. Movement is dance. Dance is movement. Even when you don't think you dancing, it's a dance to somebody. I was thinking of people in the rave clubs when you see them just like, they're just like doing whatever comes to their mind. They was killing it in their own zone. And if you wasn't in their zone, you'd be tagging along too. And thinking about altering energy, you know, not Raha. Nope. The Nata Raha. Let's see if they ring some bells when I look it up. Because when I say these names a lot, they just be reminding me of a lot of stuff that they said on Ancient Aliens. I gotta get my own terms. I gotta know these for myself. Let's look it up. The Nataraha. Like a lot of things, and I learned this too, a lot of things we think we know, but we just remember hearing about it. Or we got that other voice, that other narrator voice from a documentary playing it in our head. It ain't us just talking. The Nataraha is a depiction of the Hindu god Shiva as a cosmic ecstatic dancer. Oh, so this is her form. Yeah, I know about this form. I just didn't know the name of it. I didn't know it had a name to begin with. His dance is called Tandavam or Nadanta, depending on the context of the dance. The pose in the artwork is depicted in many Hindu texts. The dancer, relief, or idol featured in all major Hindu. Yep. Because they have this outside of the CERN Center. The old lord of dance in the universe. And I heard like in that dance is the death and the life. The term Nataraha is a Sanskrit term from Nata, meaning act, drama, dance, and Raha, meaning king, lord. It can be roughly translated as what you just said right there. You well said it first. According to Andaha Kamarasam Wasami. The name is related to Shiva's fame as the Lord of Dancers or King of Actors. Man, imagine how eccentric he would be if he was a human being, like putting human terminology. He was real eccentric. The form is known as Nataraja in Tamil Nadu and as Nartisvara or Nartiyasvara in northern India. North India, where I get northern from. With all three terms meaning Lord of the Dance. Yep, the upper left arm contains Angi. I think you mentioned this before. Yep, Angi or fire, which signifies forces or of creation and destruction. The opposing concept shows the counterpose nature of life. Ooh. The face shows two eyes plus a slightly open third on the forehead, which symbolizes the triune of Shivism. If we know about the third eye and stuff. The dwarf on which Navaraha dances is the demon Aprasmara Prasara, and which symbolizes action and dance that leads to victory over demonic evil and ignorance. I like that they put ignorance in there. That they put ignorance. Because it's not really evil, it's like an ignorance to it's just the ignorance to what's really going on, right? You just didn't know. So now you can step on that. You know what it is. CERN saw the portal. The dance can make it done by M fields. Electromagnetic fields. Wait, you make it. That makes sense. If you can see how to make something on a small scale perform the dance, that's your portal. Yo, that's wild. You will? That's it. And the dance, and according to this wiki page, saying first it is the dance is seen as an image, musical play. This is represented by a circular or elliptical frame surrounding. Oh, the source of all movement within the universe is in that circle. Secondly, the purpose of his dance is to release the souls of all men from the snare of illusion. Lastly, the place of dance, Shib Shai Dam Baram, which is portrayed as the center of the universe, is actually within the heart. I love symbols, man. Love symbols. Hello, you just deja vu time. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Don't make it too complicated, but get the skill to perform it still. Like we were saying before, get the skill to know how to work the computers and the chemistry and the physics, and then keep it simple. Let's make these particles dance, baby. Oh, and deja vu and Tom. It's a video I posted in the Discord. It's an old funny video. It's a funny video. It's a skit. It's some people that was taking DXM, and they put together a skit, and they put together strings. They tied together all these different strings, color strings, and he's saying, "See, that's the portal, but you only can access it when you want DXM." And it'll be funny. He put himself in there. He said, "Oh, Mom knocking on the door. I gotta go in." But they made it funny because it actually worked. I heard about somebody else making a puddle. Amy S. She's on here sometimes. Well, she wrote this on her Facebook. She said she opened a portal on acid before, her and her friends, and it was with sticks, and they built sticks in the form of a triangle or a form of some kind of shape, and then that was the portal. That was the portal. I forget. I don't remember recall what they were saying is able to do. Like they could go back and forth in between it or stuff like that. I don't want to make nothing up. I just know that she was talking about building a portal with sticks while all her friends and stuff was on acid. And she's real cool. She's plays music and she's in a band and stuff like that. So go check her out. I'll probably post her music one day. But she comes and checks in on the channel and stuff. She's been here for a year. Been supporting with the fam for a year. With the fam for a year. Yeah, it's about we can create these portals. And I was just thinking about Rick with his portal gun. Cause the people that made the show, they said when they first I heard about this when they first came out with Rick and Morty. They were saying how everybody was asking them how does the technology work for the things that they created in the show. And it's like it has no basis in what we know. Like it has no basis in actual science. And I think when they mean actual science is actual like recorded science and what's going on. But I just know they have a clue of what they talking about when they create the technology that they made on Rick and Morty or any kind of cartoon for that faction. But they know it's something more. They know the playfulness of it. I was thinking Rick and Morty with his portal gun. Like he had to already be familiar with deja vu and Tom being relative and the present being the moment and it branching out into fourth realities or parallel realities. He had to already have these ideas in his head, like being able to talk about it in order to create the technology as an after effect. And the cartoonist said, like, man, we can't talk about all our outside ideas. We'll just put it in the cartoon. And it don't actually exist yet. So we're going to seem like dummies trying to talk about this stuff. But no, they're actually geniuses. Geniuses. The portal can be for mind's travel, not for matter. Yeah, you always set me straight because I always know what I meant after I said it. Like you can't. I don't think a physical body like with on psychedelics. Your physical body not going nowhere. And that's how I used to think about it before psychedelics. I used to say, man, when they used to talk about opening, I guess it's an old mind thing popping up. That's what it is. And now I'm fixing that. I'm in the past right now, and I'm re-engineering it to say this is what's going on. But I used to back in the past think that when people say they open up portals on psychedelics or they've been to another place, I used to be like, where did the body go? Like, when you tripping, seeing all this stuff, the person looking at you, did you just disappear? Like, that's how much I thought it was intertwined with what was going on. And it still is. It still is, but not. It's not the things that matter here. Like you said, matter. There's just your mind. It's not things that matter here. Things that matter here stay here. That's why they matter, because they're here. They matter to this perspective. So, for the mind to go out. But that was a crazy thought. I gotta make that into a skit. Thoughts before psychedelics traveling through portal. How do you travel through a portal? And that's because of TV. That's because of TV and the movies. How the people that had the trips, how they was trying to depict their experiences. And the best way was to say, yo, it's like I literally went somewhere else. Like, it wasn't this other character. It was everything. I just went somewhere else. So that's where life imitates art, but art can confuse life. Just think about these things. But you will. Man. You grounded, but not grounded at the same time. It just comes with being calm and growing up. Growing and maturing. Growing and maturing in the ways of the wizard now. Instead of growing and maturing in the ways of things that a wizard can create. Hey, Cozy. Everything's good. Everything's doing good right now. The internet working. Video streaming smoothly. Fan popping in and out. It's like I'm in another reality. Or I just anchored this one. Or not anchored, I changed it up. We all changed it up. But no, we was tying on dances, energy, Shiva, portals. Portals, cows. I mean, we wasn't tying on cows. Just made that part up. I was just looking at a cow. Yeah, the mind is cool. The mind is cool. The mind is cool. I can talk about this all day. Hey, jump on the Discord if you feel like it. Or if you just want to chat up in here, feel free. I was talking to my I was say my sister. I was talking to my daughter about that yesterday. We was talking about terms like holy cow or OMG or oh my god. It was some reason it popped out. I said, "Hey daughter," I said these kind of terms humans use to have an explanation of something bigger than them. And I was like, in order to explain the situation that's going on, like as an explanation, like, oh my God, and holy cow. And then I even brought it down, and I was like, yo, they say holy cow, like that's still in terms with oh my God, because the cow, because of the cows, like they was considered holy because of the mushrooms. And like the poop and stuff, they just grow straight out of it. And you said UFOs like cows for some reason. I don't I don't know why. I don't know why. They like they blood. I used to hear stories about that all the time. Cows being drained for all their blood and left on the field. There's some other animals up there too. Well, why does stuff like that happen? Like what? What's in the genetic code of a cow? Wait a second. What? I typed in that and look what came up. Cow DNA. The size of a bovine genome is 3 GB, 3 billion base pairs. What makes it? The charting of key DNA differences allow known as haplotypes between several varieties of cattle could allow scientists to understand what is the role of some gene codons for products of economic value, milk, meat, and leather. The genome of a cow was sequenced by those cool people and researchers at that health institute. What did they get? It contains 22,000 genes, of which 14,000 are common to all mammalian species. Bovines share 80% of their genes with humans. Cows are less similar to humans than rodents. Humans and rodents belong to a clade of supramates They also have about 1,000 genes shared with dogs and rodents, but not identified in humans. Hmm. Hepatitis. The key charting difference between several varieties of cattle allows scientists to understand what is the role of some gene codings of products. Yeah, and they try to benefit farmers. Cows and UFOs. And the cow jumped over the moon. The world is far more mysterious than most are aware of. Cozy, you said, I'm at a store right now just chiming it up when I get home. Hopefully I can catch the live still up. And we'll see what happens. We'll see the race is on. So there's no race. Just chill out. We're going to keep on going. As long as I see this working, like with the internet and stuff, I'm more eager to go live. So it's going to be happening. And most of the times in the mornings too. Yeah, you're right. Find them savings. Don't let them jip you. Don't let them jip you. That's why, like around my way, they got about 5 different supermarkets. I go back and forth between all of them. I'm like, no, they got this here, they got that there, they got this here. Cows make shrooms. Holy cow! You right about that. I'm gonna start using that term because I stopped myself consciously from saying, "Oh my God." Like you won't catch me saying "Oh my God" or even "OMG." Like I was even saying "OMG" and stuff, but I consciously got that out of my head from just going into myself and seeing where it came from, why I enjoyed saying it, and what was just a lot, just a lot. Don't really matter right now. You said, Matthias, dogs in the way of being, even their agitated breath, hold on, I need some water. Whew. Well, good morning. Just talking about you. Matthias, you said dogs in the way of being, even their agitated breath, parasympathetic nervous system, and their responses. Dogs are awesome. When I'm on and when I'm feeling good, I just say when I'm feeling right, feeling balanced, I'm right with my dog. Like I see the not with the agitated breath, but the things he be picking up on, sometimes I be picking up on him before him, and I see him turn his head around. I be like, "You heard it too?" Like it be something real far, like the slightest sound. The slightest sound creates a whole imagination for him. That's like, what is that? What's going on? What could it be? Who? Dogs are something else, man. The way he be cutting, I never had it. Always had cats. Always had cats. But dogs, the way that they present themselves. And my dog is a talking dog. He likes to bark and to let you know and do different types of barks to let you know how he feeling, what's going on, what the situation is doing to him right now. It's about 10 different ones I can recall right now. It's weird. Not weird, because I'll always be saying whoever's controlling his dog body is trying to use his dog body to his best of his capabilities. It's like using me to create a good scenery for him to experience life like the way he's experiencing it the way that he is now. So I be finding that cool. I just find that I be having stories with myself. But yeah, no, I'm having stories with y'all. What I'm talking about? Y'all are here. Oh yeah. Though up what, King Eyes? Though up what? Though up what? Yeah, thanks, hey, King Eyes. Hey, King Eyes. I've been reading everything backwards whenever people first come in. See if it makes sense. No, but why did the cow jump over the moon? Why? Anybody know? Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle. That's what it was. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle. Yoda reading. It was a video I was watching yesterday. Everybody was mad. Well, if somebody made a video because they just remade Yoda, or it's supposed to be Yoda's kid or something, and that Medallion. It's a new Star Wars show that I haven't watched yet that the world is hyped up about, or Disney got the world hyped up about. But they have a new Yoda, and everybody's like, is this Yoda's son? Does he talk like Yoda? If he does, was this inherited speech, or did he learn it from his dad? I got this over here. I say, hey diddle diddle. Hey, no nursery rhymes be having a whole lot of stuff in there. Nursery rhymes are just as much esoteric as anything that anybody be saying to me. Hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle, the cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such sport, and the dish ran away with the spoon. The rhyme may date back to at least 16th century. Some references suggest it dates back in some form 1,000 or more years. In early medieval illustrated manuscripts, a cat playing a fiddle was a popular image. This is a reference in Thomas Pestrin's play, A Lamentable Tragedy Mixed Full of Pleasant Mirth, conveying the life of Cambliss, King of Prussia. They did not care about how long their titles was back then. We cut things short nowadays. Now they're like, my title is as long as it needs to be. Printed in 1569, that may refer to the rhyme. They be at hand, sir, with stick and fiddle. They can play a new dance called Hey Fiddle Diddle. Hey Diddle Diddle. Another possible reference is Alexander's Montgomery's The Cherry and the Sleigh from 1597. But since you think it's an easy thing to mount above the moon, of your own fiddle take a spring and dance when you have done. But since you think it's an easy thing to mount above the moon, of your own fiddle take a spring in the dance and dance when you have done. Oh, shoot for the highest aspiration, the highest truth. Keep searching for that truth, the dark side, beyond the moon. Like, I'm just seeing that as like the biggest object in the sky at the moment that is written. Like, that's what's in the beyond. That's what's out there. And you think it's easy. Let's see you get there. But knowing you get there, you're going to be dancing. Because you're going to see this whole play of life going on. And that takes me back to here. The cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such sports. I'm looking at the dog as innocence. And to see such sport. Like a sport is something that you're playing a game. Like a dance. It's something that you're playing out. But it's something that's, the rules is already there. But you're playing it out as if that's like, you in it. You in the trenches. You in the defense line. You hiking the ball. You're not the person that created that simulated Madden game and watching it. Watching it play out. And the dish ran away with the spoon. So the dog is laughing. And I was thinking about the dog in the esoteric cards. The tarot cards. The dog pulling on the... I'll show you what I mean. The Fool card. Whoa, why did that Yu-Gi-Oh come up? Come on, magician. Behave. The Fool. There go the little dog. There go the little dog right there. And it's another one. I thought he was pulling on him. Because when I was reading it saying he pulls on the Fool card. Like, dang, it's all getting away from me. Dog on Fool tarot card. There it is. But I was feeling what I was trying to say. Let's go down to doggies. Here, doggy, doggy, doggy. Here, doggy, 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 doggy. Wait, let's do Shift F, or is it Control F? Dog. Alright, I was already there. In the popular wider right base deck, the Terror Fool is usually depicted as a young man, sometimes a woman, stepping rather dangerously close to an edge of a cliff. He is brightly dressed, carries his belongings tied to a stick or perhaps a wand over his right shoulder, and holds a white rose in his left hand. He carries his head high as appears to be completely unaware of the danger at his feet. And the Fool is the first card. They call this card the soul card too, like coming into the world. A small white dog is frantically attempting to get the Fool's attention. We can't tell if the dog is trying to warn the youth or is merely joining in the fun. The sun beats down in the rain. They don't know. Hey, what's going on? Yeah, that's a beautiful bow. Beautiful, beautiful. I never seen that one. I never seen you have that one before. But yeah, let me end on this. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna see what this is. The rhyme scheme. Yeah, the start of the journey. The start of the journey. That's what it is with the Fool card. The start of the journey. How you put that? So now the little dog laughed to see such sport. Back in this song, the dog all knows what's going to happen. It's just there to play along. It sees it sees what's going on. And you know when people anthropomorphize objects, there's some real trippy stuff. There's more truth than the other one. Here go. The dish ran away with the spoon. Like literally. Okay, let's see this last one. The cat in the fiddle was a common name for inns in London in 1587. The earliest recording was a poem resembling, printed in 1769, London Mother Goose melodies, and with the lyrics, "Hey diddle diddle, the cat in the fiddle, cow jumped over the moon. The little dog laughed to see such craft, and the fork ran away with the spoon." The little dog laughed to see such craft. Like, look what he imagined. Look what he going on doing again. And that's, folks, is some of the reasons why the cow jumped over the moon. Just to see if he can do it. Or see if the cow can actually do it. That was fun. That was fun. I mean, I can slip this in. We swimming. It's a lot of cold right now. We swimming. Swim has ran across some things that is now let's just put it like this. I guess DMT should be coming to me very soon. Very soon. Very, very, very soon. Very soon. And I'm excited about it. I'm excited, and it's a healthy excitement. It's a healthy excitement. It's not. I don't even know what it's not, because what I mean by healthy is everything. I got the enthusiasm going on. I got everything. I got everything. The time is just waiting to present the moment. But yeah. Sometimes, like in this, sometimes you gotta take matters into your own hand, and you can't wait for magical fairy to show up around the corner, or even if they are, it's still fairy, but a person or anybody to come up and take responsibility for your health. Sometimes you gotta take the responsibility for yourself. DMT is around. DMT is around, and I'm excited. I'm excited, and. But I'm trying not to get. It's the same thing how it was with shrooms though. Right now, I feel myself getting. So I'm glad that I'm able to catch myself in these deja vu moments, because I'm like, I did it before. I did it a million times before, infinite times before. But just like with shrooms, and that's just with anybody, first big time. It's like, oh, whew, all right, come on, whew, okay, go on, all right. And just a bunch of back and forth eagerness and going and having building up imaginations about it, like not even based off of everybody else, but I guess it is, but just based off of me. So it's allowing me, just like before my when I first had my biggest dose, and I didn't have no biggest dose before then, like comparable to that, everything is leading me up to doing it, and I already know it is, so I'm comfortable. It's all leading up, because I know when I take that in, I look back, I'm going to say the same thing. I'm about to say, yo, everything that just happened, oh yeah, hop on eyes, it's still open. I'm going to say everything that just happened led up to me taking that hit just now. So don't confuse yourself too much. Don't over worry yourself too much. Keep it simple. Because it be coming to my mind like, oh, I gotta make sure I have a day. I started going back to basics. Like, that's that panic shit. I going back to basics. I'm like, I gotta have a day to relax after the hit, to let all the new thoughts settle in. I gotta make sure this and then like this is like that, because I don't want this to happen. But I'm already not feeling like that. And if I am feeling like that right now, that just means that's something I need to be dealing with right now, as calm as I can. Instead of saying, oh, well, I can't do this now because I got to do this, and then be all moping about it. Because that's where I feel as though my procrastination slips in. And my procrastination, that used to rear its head a lot. But now I use that procrastination for me to chill. I'm just chilling. In a real way. Not a lazy way. Not a lazy way at all. You just let go of the perspectives. And you helped me too, you well, with that. You well said that for those, because I'm be turning these into MP3s too in the future. But you well have wrote, yeah, let go of the, just let go of the experiences. I remember before you helped me out, the mushrooms, when you were saying don't let other people's trips get in your way or influence your trip. And then I started applying that to life. Once I got that down in the trip space, I started applying that to life. But yeah, the other people trips going, it's just DMT. It's just trying to rework his magic. We always going through cycles. Man. Hey, Spirit Molecule. I've been eyeing you on the Discord and stuff, and I love the Jaguar picture that you have. It's just so chill. That Jaguar is chilling, bro. That Jaguar chilling. Matias, you said impersonal energy, the landscape, original craziness. Yeah, those are impersonal energies be creating landscapes. And they do create something original, something real novel for the time that it happened at that moment. It really does. But I'm trying to get personal with how I feel and bring it to the table. Because I had a couple crystals last week from swim extraction from swim extracting something, doing the alchemy on the stuff, and but if I did nothing, there was no scenery changes. But I was talking about this yesterday already, that I felt as though things was just getting better. Like I had all the thought process that I'm talking to y'all about now, about rushing up, taking the hits, and making sure things was right in the space, and the nervousness that pop up and stuff. And I was like, all right, I got over that, and I said, I'm doing it. I'm taking the hit out the bowl. I'm doing it. Not even I'm doing it. Just like, and I like had my eyes closed when I first lit. And I just did it. But seeing things was getting better at my house, the ways that I wanted, the ways I was responding to situations. It was like I was over the situation instead of like being at a level where I had to talk, kind of still had to talk my way to get over a situation to a point where I know a space where I know that I'm at. It was like I was just already there. It was already there. And so I guess that's the magic of DMT. Just like the magic of mushrooms at any dose. It like just takes for you to be able to have the openness to be aware of what's going on. What's going on? See the clues going around. But no, it's going. I'm happy. I got the pipe going on. I got the spaceship going on. I'm not even going to put any connotations, but I guess a connotation on it would be me trying to not see it a certain light when it is that light, and I can just remix it. Period. But it's I got the meth pipe thing, where it's just a tube, and then it got the thing at top, and it's a bulb at the bottom. So I just see that's like it was cheap, and it's the easiest way to do it. Because I don't have a vaporizer to mix it in, dissolute it into some vape and do all of that. I have a rig I can try to put together. I have the dab needle. I just don't have a bong. My neighbor has one. And I was thinking about doing it over his house, but I said no, because I'm probably going to want to talk about some things. And I'm like, man, I already knew I couldn't talk about these things. So let's not set myself up for that. Let's just do it in my house. Where I can just sit back like Sleepy E be talking about. He like to sit near his window and blow the smoke out the window, and he just likes to sit back and just let whatever happens. Remember, swim while swimming. Doesn't always have to jump in deep and learn the new waters at your pace. And that gave me a sigh of relief. Because yeah, working my way up. Making my way downtown. Pace this fast. But I'm homebound. I'm heading home regardless. I'm going to make it there. I'm already there. Already experienced there. So, as you say, it's going. So everybody's pace is different. And that's why I like, just like how people have different this podcast scenery, that's why I like that we can all come in here and tie out our stories. Because it's the fact that we are not all at the same level. Even if we can talk like it. Because we're not. Or else it will be a one done thing with everything. Everything will be able to be one done. Everybody will be able to just take the same pill, have the same kind of life, and everything will be all the same. But we got different environments, like climate environments, different climates, rocky, city, tropical, or even past all of that. What I'm hearing now is just the story that's being told for your life, that you're telling yourself, that you're writing for yourself. The story that you're writing for yourself, that's what you wrote. That's what you're doing. You wrote it. It's as simple as that. For me, it's as simple as that. Yeah, it's fun. It's I like it. What do I like? What am I talking? I like everything. Everything? Everything. The fire and the flames. uh, yeah. Be comfortable with yourself, guys. Be comfortable. Live out your life. Live it out. Live it out. But don't be scared too. That's what I be learning all the time. Don't be scared. Don't be scared, cause that's the level I'm at. It's not that I'm battling fear. It's just that. Well, it's not just that. It's that fear. It's just that fear pops up as it naturally does, and I just have to go through the mental exercises, the mental rituals, the mental whatever you want to call it. It's all the same to me. Of just showing it for what it is, revealing it for what it is. It's like, oh, he popped up again. Hey, old friend. I guess why they like that song. Hello, darkness, my old friend. That meme keeps on going around. I like that meme. Yeah, you like your story like we all should. Yeah, and it is. Just like the story. Like the story. Because once you get to a certain level, you can still convince yourself that you don't like what's going on. We really make ourselves forget a lot of things. And it's like, do we make ourselves... It's not do we make, but it's like when we make ourselves forget, it's like automatically after that it's going to come with... I don't know. You know what I mean? Like a something of an uncertainty. But in that uncertainty is what makes more come out of it. Like how you hear people say going into the nothingness, like uncertainty, nothingness, same thing. Y'all really hearing me tired now. Well, y'all know what I mean. Yeah. It's all a story. It's all a story. So, yeah. I think I'm gonna go get some food soon. Food or something. Go enjoy the time, see what pops up. Work on some creative things. You know, whatever happens, I'm plotting it out. I say whatever happens and then I start plotting. But yeah, I'm just trying to make a good show. I'm just trying to make a good show. In the moment you can be blind to where your mind eyes could see if you open it. And you just gotta keep it open. Keep it open. That's the game. That's the game. Keeping it open. Well, that's the game I'm playing. Keeping it open. Because there's more happiness in keeping it open than... Not more happiness. I just like the happiness I get from keeping it open than the happiness I get from when it's closed. Because I still can get and extract happiness from the situations. But, hey, if once you experience something, you experience it. And I see that I have played myself a lot purposely. And when King God's around, it shows me period. Or True, UL, like UL too. Or Ozo. Like the thoughts that y'all be saying is my mind state. So when I be hearing myself, when I call myself in the past getting mad at myself, it was literally because the things that y'all saying is the thoughts that I wasn't being determined enough in my mind to live out. And that's like where my story comes into play. That's different than a lot of other stories where I'm doing my best to live out the dream that's in my head. It's not I'm trying to find the dream or believe in the dream or something. I guess, or believe in the dream or see the dream or believe that visions are real or believe that anything is like out in the ordinary. It's like or I guess that is something too. Like the thing that's the person in me that's talking still has that. So as time plays out, the edges start being smoothed out or start being warped into 5-dimensional figures or something like that. Whatever happens, happens, dude. Whatever, dude. We used to say that. Me and my friend Billy used to say it all the time. Whatever, dude. Like all the situations. People used to get so mad at us because we ain't never take it so serious. But we was serious at the same time. And Billy, he was the character for me back then that I see externalizing and ozoning them. But I see it now in me too. I'm bold in a lot more situations than I ever been. Like even talking right now on the camera. What the fuck? But it's not really what the fuck to me anymore, cause I understand. But like, just as simple as that, me saying what the fuck, like it's easy for people and humans a lot to get caught into that what the fuck, and then keep going at that, but forget that. Wait, you was just on camera talking for 2 hours, 3 hours. So what do you mean? You just did it? Like, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Stop playing yourself. So it's that simple. It's that simple. So yeah, man. Have fun with the day. I think I'm gonna tie on out right now. I'm gonna tie on out and shake my head a bit. Hey, well, thanks for tying it on out. Thanks for tying on out, you well. We really dug deep up and around. We went somewhere. Oh, that's dope. We had so many comments I can't even zoom all the way up. That's nice. Or is all the way up? It's still nice. Team Trees, how he came through earlier. Exile with the conversation earlier. It was fantastic. True Life popped in. Matias, you still here? Thank you for your input. Cozy, hopefully he found some good food. I'm not gonna forget, bro. I'm gonna just replay this episode next time I forget. Yeah, and we all tired. But do we really tired? Sometimes I don't know, dudes, fellas, family. Sometimes I don't know. But until next time, tired always. Hit the like, click the like button very gently. Then make sure you do. And the subscribe button is a little bit over. Just hit that. Just click the subscribe button. I don't know about hitting. I don't know how you could possibly hit it. Just click it. Just click it. And the Instagram, Discord, all the links is in the description. If you want to contribute creatively to the show, got any videos you want to be shown during the Psy Tai podcast like we did with Exile 13, I'll do that as long as I don't get copyrighted. We chilling. We are chilling. So, and the Patreon, the Cash App, any way that I can help. I'm gonna make an ecstasy account so I can do some more art and photocopy them on, like, go to FedEx, get a real good scan of them and make some legit copies that can be reprinted and like build. I want to build sculptures. Things are going to happen. There's a lot of cool things in the works. And it's all going to be relevant to helping the channel expand and the essence of the channel expand into whatever it is that it wishes to be. So with that, Ty always